Alrighty, heading out to the shop here. My truck's been having power steering fluid disappear. I was pretty sure no one was stealing it, but I poured it in. It wouldn't make it too far. It'd all come right out. I finally decided to get her up in the air and see if I could find what's going on. I was hoping for a loose line or maybe even just a line, but I jacked her up, and just jacking it up, that happened. And then I looked up in there, and I got under it and had some pour on me, and right out of the end of the steering box, it just poured out. So the seal at the end of the steering box there is shot. So I did get started already. I pulled this plastic fender well. Just used the Harbor Freight kit. I think this cost $5-10 bucks. At the time, I think we all know the price might go up to $400 or $500 here soon for simple tools. Hopefully not. I was comparing Snap-on prices. They're still way ahead on price, but that helps to pull these. You can get these online in bulk. I find I tend to destroy them. There's that kind, and then this kind too. I believe I have both. But I was trying to think ahead and make sure I could put it all back together nice and neat. Yeah, so here's a kit I got online. Yeah, it has all those different GM, I believe they are, pieces. So I don't think that was too expensive either. It has a lot of them in there. So even if I did bung a few of those up, it'll go back together. Should go back together pretty nicely. Let's get a light on over here. Started loosening the air sucker. I think it goes down to the intercooler or some sort of intercooler on that side and on the top. Because what I want to break loose first is basically all the peripherals. Get the lines, the top loosened up and out of the way. I'm going to get this aluminum tube out here. Just loosening these, and then I'll pull this pipe out. I think I got it loose enough on top. All right, will that come out now? Yes, very nice. And I got a little rag stick in there. Don't forget that. Hope I don't forget it. I'll leave it sticking out a bit, just keep any critters out of there. That came out pretty easy once I got that loosened up enough. Go down here. Do a little loosening on this one. Get a few, you can really stick them in right where you need them. There was quite a bit of wiring attached to that plastic fender well. I tried to be gentle with all that, because I don't have that shit in the kit. And I would like that stuff attached. I could zip tie it up there if I had to, you know. But I try to keep things pretty original. Like this is the front differential vent. Nice and high, that's good. I'd like a little higher. We flood around here in my area. And I'd like this thing to be able to go through some pretty deep water. Alright, let's see if I can push this pipe out without too much trouble. It's not in there too bad. You need to keep loosening this clamp. I squirted a little loose juice on it because it was pretty rusty looking. Just to make sure I don't goof up the threads too much. Okay, that's not where the top one was when it came out. Just clear a little space to work. This isn't too bad, taking this all apart. Okay, and there we go. Not too bad. Not too easy either. Will you just come out? Oh yeah. Just turned right out. Seeing some wear on this from shit rubbing on it, but there's quite a bit there down here. It's still good and solid. Can't push through it or anything, so maybe replace that fortunately. But that's $10,000, just that piece of aluminum. Just keep bugs and shit out of here. I'll keep the birds out too. I'll be shutting the doors. Birds around here, the starlings, let's get into anything. They'll take anything as for their nest. Alright, I can get on top of the pump now. Or the steering box. And some wiring around here needs to be nice too. Alright. Okay, so there's a line that just kind of jigs up. I was feeling that bolt back here, thinking that was a line, but it appears just two. I barely see in there, but I'm feeling like this nasty's gonna fit. Now I know Chevys are mostly metric now. Wow, that's gonna be a 17. Oh, I don't have any bigger. Am I still not hitting that? No way. I have bigger wrenches, they're just not these tubing wrenches. Oh, I'm going way over the top of that right now. Okay, much smaller. I was gonna say, none of these are gonna be it. Just, no way. No, that's way too small. It's the big one. I'm thinking maybe I do get this tire out of the way. They're not metric. Might not be metric. I'm feeling like it's going to be around 5/8. I wish you could see in here with me, but I don't know if I can get you up there. It's pretty freaking tight in here. You gotta be jiggling me here. You get this one? Oh yes, it's already loose. Was it? Wait a second. I only loosened one of them. Was one of these just loose? And it's not the seal? Because I know I loosened the one closest to me, but the one furthest away I hadn't loosened, and I moved it with my finger. Oh, well, that's encouraging. Maybe it was just a loose line. This truck has been lifted and modified some. I don't think anybody's gone full stage nutso on it, but it does have a pretty significant lift, and I think some different intake considerations. I've had this truck a long time, but I haven't really had to do any work to it, so I don't know a whole lot about it. Most guys I know more about it than me when I meet them. They're talking about the lift. Oh, it's a great lift. And I don't know shit about it. I don't know shit about the lift. You know, it's lifted. It's getting harder to get into as I get older. I do know that. I'll be impressed if it's just a loose line. All right. So I don't start this with those rags in there. Let's get these out. Put the tubulator back in. Okay. That's went up. Like so. Clamp's kind of fighting me a bit. Should probably loosen it some more, but I'm too lazy. Just sink right on in there. Yeah, perfect. Right where she's supposed to be. That clamp turned up so it can be tightened. Very nice. Whoa! Yeah, I do recommend tightening up the locks on these wheels before you try to get up on this. It gets a little squirrely otherwise. I was thinking I kind of might be able to skateboard it a bit, but that wasn't fun trying that out. We'll run this down by hand after a bit, but we'll get her started with this. I like to run things down by hand. I'm not a big gun guy going back together. That looks pretty good. loose on there now. Be right back at the bottom and we'll run it down by again. A lot tighter than it was. It's got a big old spring on it, and I compressed the spring pretty darn tight. So nothing has to be that much. That seems reasonable. So I think I'll add the transmission service I was going to do to this part of the saga. I was expecting this. I was hoping it was going to be easy, but like always, you know, yeah. Okay. Just double check things, think about starting and not damaging anything. I've got no tools in the way, no rags in the intake. Our intake is back together, so we're not sucking any dirty air. All right, what we're looking for is, well, no fluids down there. All right, snuck a wrench in there, well, a bunch of wrenches, and it's hard to get in there, especially with this back on. I should have tested this before I put that back on. But I found it was an 18 was the best fit. Now this is Chinesium. So I could mic this, and I have a metric micrometer. So millimeter difference between a 3/4, I guess, and an 18. But this 18 seems to have fit the best. But there's quite a bit of slop on that. 17 won't go. I'll get a 17 here. My kit that I was using earlier didn't have an 18. It had a 3/4, and then the other one had a 17 and a 3/4. So here's a 17. Yeah, that just won't go at all. That's absolutely no go. Won't go around it. Start at the top of the pipe, go down, and nothing. This 18 will slide on, but she's loose. Yeah. So you want an 18 pipe wrench, I guess. So I'm not seeing any leaks. Off camera, I had it running quite a bit. You know, I was pumping the steering wheel left and right. And it didn't produce any more fluid. That's good. I'm wondering what it'll do on the ground, of course. Don't really have to necessarily put this all back together, take it for a little live drive. Especially if it's going to leak. I'd rather leak that plastic out. But we'll figure that out a bit later. It's getting late. Kind of bored doing this right now. Not in the mood today, so I'll catch up with you later. Well, while we're down here, we may as well do the transfer case. I'm sure that's never been done. Let's get that jack put back up. That should be about right. Oh no, even better. Yeah, we gotta go get them here just a Oh, I don't know. I think they'll come out just fine. Oh yeah. This does have a drain on it, which is nice. But to really get it all out, you've gotta drop the pan and get to that other filter too. All right, we're gonna get some wrenches. Oh, forgot to take the little cap out. It's one of my favorite tricks. And bring your rides down here. fluid smells good. It's pretty clean. I'd say it's been changed since it was bought new. I bought it with, I think, about 60 on it, 60,000. Oh God, I can't. Ugh. Got about 98 on it now. Yeah, it's pretty clean. Might be changing this preemptively, but you know, you just don't know when you get something from, you know, used from somebody else, you know. Going after that filter there. See if I can get my head soaked in fluid. Oh yeah, there we go. Maybe not. It feels like it's fitting. Well, I might have to go to a bandy or a strap. None of my oil filter wrenches are fitting now. Let me go see if I can find my strap wrench really quick. Couldn't find any of my band wrench, but in my dad's old tools, found this metal one. And I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to give it a try. Give it a shot here. I think it goes like, I want to go left like this, and yeah, that, no, got to go the other way. Oh, that is not even close. There's a little tiny filter. Okay, back to the drawing board. Okay, did find my band oil filter wrench. It was under a rag at the bottom of my oil filter wrench supply. I do like these, man. They're one size fits all. And you're not really. I don't mind punching some filters, but maybe on a block. It's a pretty small oil filter here. I see really tiny. And somebody put it on with millions of pounds of force, of course. Yeah, oh, she turned it. She turned it. Oh yeah. Beautiful. There it is. Alright, we won't let it drip a bit. It's just gonna sit there. Now I know I have this filter in the bed of the back seat of the truck, but I'm gonna get a new one today. I've had a lot of moisture collecting in my cab. But there's a O-ring that's stuck up here. Oh, no, looked like an O-ring. It's got an indent where the filter goes. I really want to wipe that out. Make sure I get my camera in the oil here. Big old magnet, we want that to go back in, and there is a little goods on that. Not much, but a little. Kind of hopefully see that there. That's all metal flake. Light amounts of metal flake, it looks like. Yeah, I like they put a magnet there too. That's pretty cool. So there should be one in the pan as well. And I got that pretty cleaned up. I'll probably wipe it down a little more. There's a little fluid. There's a little corrosion on the seat, but it looks, you know, good enough. Let's get this pan off of here. Pan bolts themselves are a 13. Kind of almost need an extension here, but I don't want to get up to get. There's one. It's going to loosen them by hand. Just to make sure they were all kind of tight. That one was pretty questionable. That one's pretty good. good. They all have a little tension on them. It's good. I will do a new gasket today. I'm not much of a gasket recycler. I gotta remember that when I go up and get everything. There we go. Yeah, she's loose now. Thanks to that nice drain bolt, we shouldn't get a wad of shit in her face. Still have some in it. Alright. Let's see how much of a mess we can make here. No tilty back. Oh yeah. There we go. Oh yeah, she's still... Oh yeah, the filter's giving me some loving. Okay. That's alright. You sit here for a moment while I pull this over. I'm really good with fluids. I tend to get them, well, pretty much everywhere. Oh, there's that magnet coming back to help me. Stick in the bottom pan, and the filter's in the way. Master of fluids, let me tell you. There we go. Okay. What the flying shit? Oh, okay. There's a magnet off to the side. Okay, so here's our in-pan filter. And there is a little magnet off to the side. I'll show you when we get out of here. I gotta get another rag. Not too much metal in there though. It's what I was kind of hoping and expecting with this transmission. She seems to shift real well. No slippage. Obviously want to keep it that way. With the light the way it is, where this pan is right now, I'll give you a pretty good view. Let's see if I can get it down here. Get oil all over the camera mount and make that nice and nasty. So it's just cake. I'm going to take it in the house and get it everywhere in the house. Turn. Okay. So You can see the metal here. All right, I've even got to maintain my solvent tank here. Down here, you see this Jupiter cloud-looking shit. My finger goes down that about 3/4 of an inch. I believe that's water. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of room at one point in my old house. I drained this and had the solvent container sitting outside, and they weren't sealed. The little rubber boots that come out and in to pour out of, they'd rotted away, and I think they took water. So this has a drain right here underneath. I'm going to loosen that up and catch all those Jupiter clouds. I need to clean this out before I try to run this. I also need to get some more fluid. It needs to be up above this, and it's down here, more than halfway down. So I'm gonna do that and then have this running and functioning. I got to get some more solvent today when I go into town, so that's on the list. All right, let's see if it swirls. I've got a larger pan under here. It's probably gonna make a little bit of a mess. Probably gonna come out pretty darn. Yeah, there she goes. Okay, it's kind of sludgy down there. I'm just pouring solvent down. That sludgy shit I've almost got to pump the good shit off the top into something else and then drain that out. I'm gonna have to like squeegee it out. It's kind of a sludge down there. Shoot. I don't think I have a little pump that can handle this. I need to get a little pump. Like a pump that can handle gas and oil and fuels and solvents. All right. These all are bigger. Right up there. Nope. Oh yeah. Okay, right here we have a 18. Oh, wait. Yeah, 18 top and bottom drain and fill. There's a little weeping going on back here on the transfer case. It's a pretty big seal. It looks like it could be replaced pretty easily in place. There's lots of room in here. This is weird. A drain bolt here for this. Oh yeah, it's gonna hit this, quite a bit of this frame rail. This cross member. Oh, there's some rust developing on the edges of the frame. I've got to get down here and brush all this and turn it into phosphate. That's going to be a project coming up soon. This thing might have come from Florida or some shit, you know. Not against Florida, just like this state, it has lots of moisture. So coming here hasn't probably been any better for this thing, wherever it came from. All right, well, let's see what kind of mess we can make here. Oh yeah, I got the wrong. Oh, hang on, gotta go get an adapter. I had to extensionize quite a bit. I don't like this drain bowl. It doesn't feel like it's on the seated. The fill bowl is just seated. Huh. I don't like this baby at all, do I? It feels tight. Coming out. Okay, I don't have the damn cap in the drain. Okay, that's just more ATF in the transfer case. Okay, well. Yeah, I don't think that little drain bolt was going all the way in. God, this one's pretty tight too. They kind of have a fit to them. see any gaskets or O-rings or copper or... But we'll let that sit and drain. I wasn't expecting ATF. I was expecting like gear oil. Huh. It must have clutch packs in it. Interesting. That looked pretty clean too. Transmission still dripping. Okay, I got everything out. I've got the filter for as an example. Make sure you get the right one. You know, they're always going to give you, a 4x2 Toyota filter or something with air conditioning. You got to double check your work. Take the picture of the pan filter and the spin-on filter. Okay, I got to get enough, apparently ATF for the transfer case and the transmission, the two filters, and we'll reuse that pan gasket. I'm going to get some solvent, a little pump that can handle fuel, and I'm going to try to get my clean solvent out. It's separated nice, so I have some clean solvent. It's probably only a few gallons there though. Probably get 10 gallons of solvent. That's going to be expensive, but we'll catch you in a bit here after I get all that, and we'll start going back together. All right, well, I just got back from town looking for transmission fluid and transfer case fluid for this thing, and it's quite a study. I'll shorten it up for you. Allison in 2005, the spring of 2005, I guess, started putting Castrol Tansynd 668 in the Allison, in these Allisons, whether it be motorhomes, whatever. And it meets and exceeds like all their specs. You know, they even extended customers' warranties if they change previous years' transmissions to this Tansynd 668 product. And many people did that. A little more expensive, but not much. I ordered 5 gallons for a couple $100, I think, at $189 or something like that. Just have some sitting around. For the transfer case, there have been people express concerns over the seal between the transmission and the transfer case leaking. So you don't want to put anything in there you don't want in the Allison. Most people are recommending Dex III or ATF in the transfer case. That's what I'm going with. I'm going with the Castrol, basically Dex III equivalent. It meets the Mercuron 1 or whatever, Dex 3, I think even Dex 2, something like that. The thing I wasn't remembering right off the top of my head was basically for the Allison itself, you need to make sure your oil is TES 295 compliant. There's a TES 448 above that, I think, that Allison, I'm seeing through history, was supporting, I believe. The actual page that everybody's referencing to Allison's reference for this transmission, or these references are making, the page is not there anymore. Takes you to Allison, but that particular page is gone. But the posts from everyone are consistent about the Tansynd 668, the TES 295 compliance at a base minimum. There were people who talked about being on the road, noticing their automatic transmission, the transmission was low on fluid, putting a couple quarts of Dex 3 in there, which was basically what was being put in prior to 2005. So a non-synthetic transmission fluid, Dex 3. Somebody made a comment, hey, you know, this is not going to hurt anything. You're talking like 20 quart system. You put 2 quarts of Dex 3 in, you're probably fine. I mean, you know, get that changed out at some point, your next oil change. The other thing is if you have a prior to 05 Allison where you were running a Dex 3 or equivalent, that TES 295 equivalent product, and wanted to upgrade to this 668 product, there, Allison, I guess, was estimating it would take about 2 oil changes at 50,000 miles or 2 years each to fully get transferred over to the Tansynd 668. And they're saying you wouldn't, essentially, until you have those 2 oil changes coming from a non-synthetic, whatever it was, you wouldn't be receiving all the benefits that that product has. So I really like to stick to what the manufacturer's recommending. I think, you know, a lot of these companies, I don't think they're trying to steer you wrong. especially when they'll extend their warranty for a given product. They're installing it at the factory, or these transmissions were coming with that. And then if they're extending the warranty, that tells me something. It tells me it's not a sham. You know, it tells me like they're not trying to wear out your transmission prematurely. So you buy parts from them or have to go in and have it serviced somewhere, which might not even, you know, be them or an authorized dealer of theirs or repair shop of theirs. So the Transcend 668, that's it for me from everything I read. Struck out on the fluids. I ordered them. I ordered all these fluids, the Castrols, the 668, and the Dex III for the transfer case. They'll be here Thursday. It's 2 days from now. But I want to get this fresh fluid out of my solvent tank. Oh, by the way, I did get these filters. We can talk about that really quick. I do Wix filters on everything, oil, and I did find O'Reilly's had these Wix filters for my Allison. I guess it's called a 1000. There are 2 different models they pull up on a 2500 HD Silverado with the diesel. This one, mine's the 1000 model, I guess. There's one, I can't remember the designation for the other one, but basically this filter here is quite different. The neck on the other model is really small compared to the 1000 model like mine. And that's why I took this out before I went in. We decided to pull both models off the wall, and we were able to see that from the picture that they were exactly the same. I'm going to be putting this in tonight, getting the pan back on and all that before the oil arrives. If there's any dust in here, I'm not getting that up inside of the transmission. There's a little O-ring right there. Got to get that out. So again, just be mindful when you're doing these types of things. Take your time. Got a nice little pick here. It's refusing just to come out. I'm going to get something a little more solid, a little less sharp. Different type of pick. I'm going to try this one first. I'm just going to gently, I'll try this bigger 90-degree one, making sure it's really clean. Went up inside. There we go. Just need to kind of get it from the top and pull it down gently, not marring that inner surface. Oh. Just be really careful not to create a divot in there. Yeah, I can get that with my fingers. They're kind of dirty. I'm just touching that. There we go. There's the old one. Good. Okay, let's go back and I think I need to clean the pants, so that's kind of in the steps here. I could get the new filter up, get my hands cleaned up, and get the new filter up. Yeah, the fluid looks really good in this. If it hadn't been changed since manufacturing, and the little amount of debris I'm seeing on the magnets in this, I got to tell you, I'm saying super impressive. If this is that Transcend, I'm impressed with it. These babies are not going to be cheap to rebuild or replace. Allison is, in ways, very right to be very proud of their product, and they charge for it. Now let's go play with the solvent tank so we can complete that next phase. And I will wipe down all the oil that's up there with a clean lint-free cloth. I've got those good lint-free shop towels from the Harbor Freight. I want to call them Horrible Freight to joke around, but I shop there too much at this point to say shit like that. You know, their products have always gotten me by, and I actually haven't broke. Well, no, I broke a rubber hammer beating the shit out of something. That's the only thing I've ever broken, and it was a Pittsburgh. So I took that sucker back, and they just gave me another one. And I think it was, you know, a $10 hammer. It's hard to go wrong, you know. So I looked for a little fuel-safe electric transfer pump, and I've got to order one online because nobody carries them. O'Reilly's. Well, O'Reilly's might. I didn't ask them. I was so focused on the fluids there and the filters, I forgot to look for a transfer pump. Harbor Freight did not have a transfer pump. So what I'm going to be doing is a hand job, as good as that sounds, with a hand pump. $12. Now they say ideal for changing oil, siphoning gas, and more. So it can take gas theoretically, and it has all this shit in it. It can be a little air pump and everything. For 12 bucks, I got 2 of them, and I'm willing to destroy them. What I'm gonna do is attempt to get, and here's all the air filling shit. That's not gonna be useful in this application, and the pump won't be probably any good for air pumping. I might save these for the other kit if I were to ever use it as spares or something. But this one's going to end up kind of being more of a fuel solvent type pump. And it may not last. After I use it this once, it might may no longer work. Well, because we are dealing with solvent. So I want the part of the pump. These look like little air fittings. Pretty narrow. I'm going to use these big orange ones. Suck a lot of fluid in and out. They've got little, small gauge hose. I suppose you can convert from these. There's in that little plastic kit. There are probably converters. We're just going to use this big orange stuff. I'll just save all this shit as cheap line for something else. Mind you that remembering that it's cheap. I'll put that in my scrap bin. Yeah, so a little mechanics wire. That's my go-to for everything. Some guys are really, they're all about the duct tapes and zip ties. I like zip ties too, but man, mechanics wire, it's just everything. All right, let's see what we can do here. Back to sucky. Yeah, I don't think I'm pulling unwanted juices in this position. It's wiggling it around, but that fluid down there is pretty heavy compared to the mineral spirits, which is handy. There we go. We're going to start sucking a little air now. Well, let's give her a little more jack. Getting pretty high. Jack's starting to come out. Well, it's wide enough. I just moved the jack. There we go. Oh, wiggling things around there a bit. The tank is staying put. That's good. Okay, let's get out of the goop. Oh yeah. Oh, sucked a little goop. Too low. It's kind of hard to see, I think, in that position for you. Let's see if we can get it over a little more. There we go. And if there was a little in there, not the end of the world. Down the throat. Well, we've got about 6 gallons. I don't think we're getting another 2 without sucking down. Of course, I might be able to settle that and pour that out if I suck some out. I'd have to wait a while. And you mix them. Your mineral oil is going to be pretty skunky for a bit. slow. And pulling a little up. Looks like it. This can is, that's right at the top. Shit. Okay, get another one out. That is 6 gallons, maybe over 6 gallons, because I'm topping these off, coming up to the rim. Okay. Come on, 8 gallons. Oh, something's in there. Go a little slower here. Get a little more on the jack. Things are getting pretty precarious here. Everything's locked down though. The light, the can. I can really tilt her up till she starts pouring out where that pump is mounted. Oh no, this has to have been a Harbor Freight. Well, I don't know. A lot of shit was made. It wasn't Harbor Freight back in the day too. It does say made in China on the pump there. That's kind of my sign. Might be able to skip some out. Might seem a little silly, but I'm telling you, stuff's like almost $20 a gallon. Last bet does evaporate pretty, it's priced, it evaporates faster than you like. Let's see if we can come back over here in this corner. Let's stir it a little bit up. Get it flat as I can. Of course, the camera's in the way of the light a bit. Got quite a bit of it. Kind of picking at the remnants here. But there is good solvent there. Go slow. Yeah, just go slow. Slow enough I'm picking up the mineral spirits, but not strong enough to suck up the shit. Oh. I just wonder if I could dam some of the sludge back with a piece of cardboard or something. although something tells me if the solvent can get through the sludge will too. Oh boy, that sludge. Oh shit, it's so deep. I miscalculated the depth of the sludge. I need a pretty big piece of cardboard, and that will not work. All right, battery's about dead on the camera and the support battery, but ended up doing an on-the-frame restoration here of the bottom of this freaking solvent tank. That's a lot of the paint. Held up pretty well against solvent all those years, but looks pretty darn gnarly. Got all the water out. Let me get all these chunks of paint out. Wipe her down, get a vacuum, really get all the little bits of particulate out, and go ahead and pour our good clean solvent back in, and we'll clean out that pan, and then we can go back together with the bottom of the transmission and the bottom of the transfer case. Get ready for oil Thursday. Oh boy, it's really goopy. I'll get all the real wet stuff picked up. Oh boy, getting it all over everything. With a paper towel here, and we'll get our clean stuff in. Nothing too exciting, but you know, it all matters. All right, I'll wipe things down. Get this new filter on. I don't have the oil, it's still the same night. I went to town and couldn't find the oil I wanted. Got it coming in the mail. So we're gonna wipe things down. Got everything cleaned up. I got the pan and gasket cleaned up, sitting face down over here. We're gonna go grab it and bring it over clean. Let's wipe this down real quick, and so I did have a fan blowing in here earlier because it was nice and warm. Yeah, I still know a little dust might have collected on all that oil. Sitting there. Let's just dab it. Get the outer edge too here. Get some of that lip off the. There's a lip of dirt that was on the pan, and it's on the transmission itself. Don't want to push any of that in. I don't want that lip interfering with the gasket. I am able to kind of wipe it away. Just try to push it out, you know. Yeah, chunks of dirt falling off there. I should get my scraper out, but I don't want to jostle that shit into the center. Dusty shit. Wish that didn't have that lip. I don't want to really even go scraping on it. I might be a little bit over the top with this stuff, but really try to keep the insides clean. I'm getting some of that. Whoa, there goes that light. Right into the, didn't go into the juice, but fell off the. I am gonna. Yeah, I don't wanna do any scraping. I'm trying to push it down. Just clean it off. Get some oil on the bag. As long as I keep it out of the inside. Be fine. I don't want one speck of this shit in here. Get a little oil on a clean part. Help keep the keep the dust down when I go over it too. Trying to get the dirty parts of the rag inside. Yeah, a little bit of oil takes that off pretty good. Just knock it down some. I think it's just a really kind of unthought out design in a way. Oh, use the creeper. You don't have to hold your head up. Okay, there we go. That's nice. All right. Got a fresh towel here that I think I've kept clean. Ish. I don't even want to dab this really. I'll just use a little of the oil to continue to clean up the edges there, but I'm not going to use any of these towels. As soon as I'm under here, I'm touched shut, getting dirt all over the paper towel. I'll just dab a little of this oil up and keep trying to clean that outer edge up a bit. Just so it doesn't have such a profound lip that gasket could catch on. Yeah, right there. I have to scrape that. There's a big old gnarly section through here. I'm gonna have to get the scraper out. Really unfriendly section. Big old lip on it. These other areas have been able to knock down pretty good. Well, good news as always. My inch-pound wrench only goes up to 288 foot-pounds. My foot-pound torque wrench only goes down to 25. The metal pans, they're calling for 22 to 26, so I'm right there. Problem is, this wrench is longer than some of the torsion bars down here on the suspension system. So it's going to be awkward to use. And yeah, I need a little extension. Just a little one. I don't know how accurate it'll be with the extension on there and the deep well socket, but it's what I have. These are going to go down real quick too. No, I got this big old extension on here. I should probably use a shallow socket in this extension, but then I'm touching a lot more stuff down here with the wrench, bumping it. She's right below 25. She moved. Had it right 0 and 25, and it got bumped, and it moved. And I thought I had it tight. That needs to be like a larger lock. 26 foot-pounds. This thing should pop almost just instantly. I mean, it should almost just pop under its own weight. So, what do you think that one is there? I think that's about that. About a size bigger. About a size bigger than that. Tell me that's fucking SAE. Probably is. No, good enough. Okay. So, just the wrench. We are on 26. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty light. Just feels really heavy. on these pan bolts. This is a new wrench. My old one, I really couldn't trust it. The locking mechanism, it has kind of a detent locking mechanism, and it got to where you couldn't feel that you were in the detent. So you'd lock it, and if you weren't in the detent, it would not pop. So you'd be you'd be pulling and pulling and pulling. I never busted a bolt on that one. I was pretty suspicious of it early on, just from kind of having a feel for torques. To a degree. I mean, I'm not a scientific instrument by any means. You can probably tell that from the video footage. Yeah, these are still making me uncomfortable. They are a pretty big bolt. I mean, they're not tiny or anything. I'll just keep working them down until it pops. All right. There we go. And I think I snugged her up pretty evenly. Say you might need to retorque the corners. And I understand that, I guess. There we go. Yeah, we're starting to get some now. We're a little beyond. That was 27. And they're just... I don't think they were torqued. Probably rattle gun specialist torqued. Got to get out for your smoke break, you know. After you flat rate a couple. All right, drain plug torque is theoretically 24 foot-pounds. I'm going to give it 25. That's all I can do. I'll have 24 anywhere. That's good. That feels good. Okay, so this is all ready to go. All I've got to do is put fluids in. Tighten down. Oh, I'll just hand tighten this if I forget. It's on there. Okay, so that's hand tightened at least, which means it shouldn't leak if I forget it. I've got to remember to, you know, obviously do the transfer case. But that should be pretty obvious when all the fluids are sitting there, right? Okay. I'm going to call that a night. Got a few things done. Got the new filters on and pan in, back in, so she'll stay nice and clean. There's dust whooping around. It won't get me. We'll catch you guys when we're putting fluids in and stuff and do a test drive Thursday. All right. We've got the Castrol Transmax for the transfer case and the Tansynd 668 over here in a little bit larger quantity. It's quite a bit cheaper to get it in more quantity. So, did get that from the Amazon. They delivered all this fluid. They delivered stain and the Castrol Transmax and this Tansynd. And USPS actually delivered it. If you go try to deliver a tube of toothpaste directly, they'll shut you down. But it seems Amazon knows how to make it work. Anyway, I'm going to be pumping this in. I'm only going to do up to the drain plug, or the top plug, not the drain plug. I was reading about guys filling them up, putting extra cord in and stuff. I don't do a lot of off-roading. I'll get stuck in a driveway or just off the road a bit, and I'm not one of these guys that's just hammering my rig, you know, just bouncing it down trails. And I tend to just not be that wild. Never really have been. So I think I'm just gonna put her on, fill her to that top plug, like it should be. There are people recommending that over, you know, getting wild and overfilling. I mean, the more fluid's better, but I think I have to get up there somewhere to get it. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go here, fill her here till she starts dripping out. I think the little clutch pack or whatever, electrically operated clutch pack, is down here. And then, you know, fluid will splash up there from, you know, the chain running, I guess, around. It's kind of your sump down here, you know. Well, let's get to it. Some people are saying do what the, you know, only do the recommended, you know, what the manufacturer recommends. So this Castrol is that Dex III compatible. You know, it's typically for older vehicles. I guess they're not even making Dex III anymore. Oh, we got a company under the truck here. Hi, baby girl. Yeah, you can be under here right now. I don't want you under here when I'm with the vehicle with the wheels off and stuff. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is my helper. Need my helper. You're a good girl. Yeah, no licking mouse. That's gross. I see what you lick. Yeah, go on. Go get in your bed. Go lay down. Okay. Let's see if we can't get this in here nice and clean. And we'll snug those I think I got them backwards. Yeah. I'm just pumping air into the jug. So there is a direction. So the top one on these Harbor Freight pumps, the one towards the handle there, is your suction, and the other one's the outlet, I think, naturally. Okay. And of course we're all tangled up already. I can tangle any cord instantly. It's like some sort of superpower. Yeah, it's going nice and easy. I don't know that I'd want to try gear oil with one of these. I mean, it might work, but boy, that 80-90 would probably be really difficult to pump this. I have to check every so often. Up top some, I guess, at the top of the plug. It'll eventually start dribbling out. This thing pumps pretty darn quick. And I'll just be using the same pump for the Transcend. Superpowers, I think, is I can't. We have to reach through the fluids. Boy, I do see some kind of metallic falling out of that. Huh. Not like that at all. Didn't really look at the fluid coming out of the transfer case. I almost wondered if I flush it. There's a pretty good amount of metallic coming out up here. Not like that much. Okay, well, supposedly that's topped off. We'll get rid of any false positive drips here. We'll be doing obviously really close leak check on this. this whole situation. I guess we'll check that she shifts pretty smoothly and all that. I just don't think these need to be dead run into the cases. Decided to do a quart test just to see how many pumps it takes to get to the center of a lollipop or something. This thing's fucking dripping all over. Well, I do like making a good oil mess. I don't feel like I've done anything until I've covered the entire shop and myself in oil. What I need to get is some proper floor sweep. Look at that. Alright, so until we see no air coming out, don't even know where to hold this. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's say about 8 pumps is a quarter. Just need to see it come up to the line. I was gonna fill that filter down there, dang it. That's not on that tight. Got it snugged up. Take it off real quick. I'll put a little fluid into it. That's gonna be such a tiny little amount. Okay, we can go on over there. This one is different. Yeah, let's give it a little juice. I did notice on the bottom of the sticker, it says Allison transmission. I don't know if Allison owns a stake in Castrol or whatever, but I like the branding, cohesion, connection. Yeah, I read that on a data sheet, they made this oil specifically for the Allisons. And I know a lot of guys that run Castrol, conventional and stuff. That shit just seems to last forever. I think Castrol's a pretty good oil. I prefer synthetics, a mobile synthetic in my engines. But I don't think I have no problem with Castrol as a general rule either. But my mobile kick is, I had a fluid scientist tell me, hands down mobile for engine oil. Now, granted, that was in like 1997, and things do change. But the guy didn't even blink. We asked him, it was a classroom setting, visiting a hydraulic shop. This fluid scientist there, that's all he did was study fluids that came in to analyze them. We asked him what oil he'd recommend, and he just mobile one. This light's about dead. Yeah, so at least that I can see. We'll do a little crawlsies under. Oh. Those lugs look safer fittings look good. And there's a little drip on the oil filter there on the spin on. Just a little drip. No weeping around the hand gasket. It's really nice and dry. It looks a little wet there, but I think that was there before. Or just from cleaning up the... This is from me spilling up there. Up there, it's all just me spilling in the tube, trying to use that pump. That was a bad idea. Should have just put it in quarts and poured it in. So that's not leaking from the transmission. Yeah, she looks good. I think that's even sealed up. It looks a little weepy around the... Let's see if I can't hit that with another little twist. There she's on there. Get her warm. It's hard to get her warm when not towing anything. Like that's warm to the hand, but on the gauge in there, it's not even 100 degrees, and I mean, she's nice and cool. That was damp already. The drain plug was damp already. I remember that being damp. I just wiped it off a little bit. So I'm gonna just check it again. Again, I think it's good on the cold, right on the top of the cold mark. And it should be a little higher now. I think it's absolutely on the money. I don't know how much I used, but that 5-gallon bucket feels real light. I'm gonna weigh it. I'm gonna get one of those hay scales or whatever and see how many quarts are left by weight. I swear I used 4 gallons, which is what? I don't know. I don't remember. Is 4 quarts still a gallon? 16 quarts? Was this fucker low? I know I checked it previously in the past. I guess that's when you would have done it previously in the past. Kind of an oxymoron there, but you know, you get what you get with me. Let's crawl up there and let's get this tripping device out of the way. Okay, yeah, that's where I remember the name Homac from. This chest was Homac from Napa. Now, yeah, that doesn't mean it was made in the US. But I do believe I got, oh, I need to shut this. I haven't gone to town yet to get my my new cleaning solvent. Oh, the other thing we were going to check was the power steering. Let's get the transmission checked first. It's more important. Although I know it was good before I hauled off. Took my little test drive down the road and back. Did make a hell of a mess trying to use that pump on the floor. I've wiped a lot of it up, but man, that was just rough. I won't do that again. Just got fucking oil everywhere. This is the side we checked. That's a false reading on the back of the stick. Hard to kind of see. Putting a little oil everywhere. It's alright. It's already everywhere. Kind of hard to see in there. Boy, I feel like I have kind of, I got to feel dirt on my damn fingers. Just I wipe them down, I clean them, and then I can feel dirt on them. Did I get it? Nope. That has to be it. Okay. Fresh reading. Yeah, she's warm and right at the bottom of hot. I know when I was running it earlier, checking, she's right at the top of cold. So this is good. Fluid's expanding. Should expand right up to the top of hot about, I figured. They're in the hash mark. She's warm right now. Okay, let's go check the power steering. Be sure to run this over on the way out, do one more test drive. So this was leaking really well. That looks drippy. That looks like maybe fresh drippy down there. I gotta put all this shit back together too. It shouldn't take too long. Might see if I can order replacements of these little clamps. Have an inventory of those, these little clamps. Now you're not gonna get one of those easy. You'd have to rewire that. Or push the pins out. Repin it and do a new. Don't want to break that one. At some point I'll raise this drain up. Talked about that already. Yeah, I think I can stick my hand here. That feels dry on the steering box. Nothing's wet. So it's dry up top. That's good. Okay. That's a pretty good view. When it squirts, it squirts. So we'll run that and turn the wheel back and forth. See what happens. Nothing yet. Starting to hit jack stand. This is still wet, but I just need to wipe that off. I think that bad boy back there was leaking. I'm gonna get my, oh, now that I got that tube in the way, I can't reach in there very easy. Let's see if I can measure those pipe threading. Be back to that. So yeah, I believe this is the transmission temp right there, and it's not even registering. So I tested a four-wheel drive, high at least. I tested shifting into trailer, towing, and out. Reverse was good. Everything's shifting really quickly and quietly and smoothly. Feels good. Not that it didn't before. Back. Pop the hood again. Check the power steering fluid. Now there's poor doggo on the porch. Yeah, you can see her eyes and all that. See, she got out of the shop and wanted to go up to the house, but she's out here at night alone. And she's not in the house or at the garage, the shop. And they're out here. Mountain lion. Wouldn't want to fight that cat. Still not above 100 on the tranny cat. Engine temp's good, not that the chink anything there. You know, it's like maybe 180, 170. Oil pressure on these always looks low. They just don't give you the best feeling in the world. I've heard that, read that. You need to put some front shocks on it. It's just got single, you know, poor man's front shocks for the big lift they put on it. They kept it pretty basic. Just gotta, you're gonna put a I don't know how much this lift front cost. I know it wasn't cheap. Whatever it cost, and then put, you know, leave your factory shocks on or whatever, or just some cheap, you know, O'Reilly shocks. Not put a more robust actual traveling shock system on here. Kind of drives me nuts. But I don't want to spend the big bucks on a taller, better shock unit when I might lower this thing. Steering's not growling or anything. Oh, training temperature come up to just above 100 now. Filter might be warm at the touch, like a hot tub. Yeah, this has been a great truck. I was worried when I bought it might be a complete pile of shit, but somebody did put a little effort into it. It just didn't finish, and I think it was kind of a. This thing saw salt somewhere. It's not as horrific as a complete Minnesota, or, you know, Mid-East or whatever, Midwest. Far East truck where the roads are just completely made of salt, winter and summer. But it does have some just, you know, spots where rust is starting. Fortunately, a lot of it's where I think I can brush it out, wheel it out, and treat it, turn it into phosphorus, and paint it. I've got a, I think, oh, I didn't order that primer. It was like $200 for 5 gallons of paint, a rust converter, or a primer and rust converter. A 2-in-1. I think we'll put this in, check that power steering fluid. I'm going to call it a night. Transmission filter, see if we have any more weeping on that. Filter's dry. Dry. Good. Pan's still dry. I'll be obviously keeping an eye on it over time, but I think she's good. All right, let's check check that power steering fluid. Well, there's fluid on the stick for a change. I had some circumstances where I made some commitments and I had to run this just to keep pouring power steering fluid in it. Got away with it for a bit, but then it got real bad. I couldn't get away with it anymore. So it's on the full cold. It is warm. So she's low, but she's there. Kind of a cumbersome process, the oil change, you know, doing a transmission transfer case, but they're gonna charge you, God, $1,000 for what I paid $150 for 5 gallons. I got some extra gallons. They're not gonna put Wix filters on your transmission or in the pan, the spin on, or they're gonna, if they put AC Delco on there or GM anything, I'd be surprised. They're probably getting Mastercraft and shit like that from O'Reilly's just to save a buck. I wouldn't do that. And then, did they fill it properly? Is the pan torqued down? I've seen where you take these trucks in, pay $1,000 for a service, you look on your truck, the pan's leaking, and you go into there and feel the bolts and they're loose. Probably pick up doing some odds and ends, you know, checking the diffs and stuff like that, trying to find where the cab's leaking. And then I've got 3 vehicles we'll look at and talk about which one maybe I should start with. We'll decide together. I have some pretty interesting projects, I think. They're all, I think, very challenging. There's a lot to do. It's going to be a lot to do alone. I'm actually kind of I don't know. I don't have all the confidence that I can handle these. I only have this one bay in the shop. If I had 2 extra bays on the sides where I could, or at least one, I could pull a vehicle apart and still have one bay to work on things. That's a big challenge. And then just the money and resources to do an actual poor man's restoration, even a poor man's restoration. So yeah, we'll look at those and make some decisions together. But anyways, signing out for the night at least.